Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to make a video on entrepreneurs, and I know that this is slightly different from my channel, which is on emotional awareness and spirituality. But as the video progresses, you're gonna see how the two are very much related to each other. So, as entrepreneurs or any person who has just started off a business, I think it's very important for you to trust your agenda, to trust your concept, to trust your vision. A lot of the times, what happens is you see a potential, you see scope for something. Either it is something that's missing from the market, it's something that you believe you can provide which nobody else can, or it's just something that you wish, a change that you wish to implement, something that you wish to do, but you can't do it, or you think that you cannot because you discuss it with other people and they don't see the things that you do. And so, for those reasons, even though a part of you wants to do certain things, there's another part of you that is hesitant because all of those people around you, they're wise, they are experienced, they are educated, and they're not going along with your plan. So that gives rise to a conflict, an internal conflict. Now, it may not be a very aggressive conflict, but it is still a conflict, and it's not the same as putting yourself wholeheartedly into something. I'm not going to get into the financing part of a startup. I'm not going to get into the part where I talk about angel investors and all that shit, because this is a channel on emotional awareness. And what I'm here to tell you is that if you bring enough emotional awareness into an absolutely professional entrepreneurial startup, you are going to get what you need, whether that is profit making, more clients, more business, more money, or any of those materialistic things. But you can't get them unless you have an emotional awareness of why you are doing what you're doing. Um, so, the first thing that you have to do is remove doubt and throw doubt out the window, because there's a reason other people can't see what you can see. It's not other people's soul calling, and they are not the leaders that you're going to be. Right. And at least leaders in your field, in your scheme, in the things that you are trying to do. So you can't seek that external validation. What you can do is carefully observe the people around you. And once that observation is done, you got to carefully assess what someone is good at and what someone is bad at. And once an assessment of the strengths and weaknesses of those around you have been made by you, you can maybe see how that fits into your overall goal. And so, if you need any suggestions for from people who you believe have certain strengths in those areas that you might need, you can use them as resources, you can use their insights as resources, but they don't need to tell you that your idea doesn't make sense. All right, now instead of seeking that validation from them, make them your resource. So that's going to be my first advice for entrepreneurs. And my second advice is basically related to my first advice, but it is somewhat different. And that is, don't be afraid of failure. It's so important. It's so very important because 90% of the time, chances are you will fail, and it's only 10% of the time if you're very, if you have it all carefully laid out, if you have a trillion backups, then regardless of the government policy, regardless of the socio-economic environment, regardless of all of those things, you're still succeeding. That is just, I don't know, maybe even less than 10%. More often than not, you're going to experience failure, and you're going to experience it over and over and over again. There are going to be times you're going to break even. There are going to be times you won't even break even. You won't. So, how do you keep that thing pushing? You have to remember that failure is a part of success. Failure is not the opposite of success. And it doesn't just stand true for sports or education, it stands true for every aspect in life. What is failure telling you? Answer me this. Because this is a channel on emotional awareness. What is failure telling you? Failure is telling you that whatever technique you have been applying in the current scenario is not working out for you. So, how can you say that that's a bad thing? You should be glad that failure happened to you because now you know that in this environment, this, what you've been doing, won't work. So, you got to adapt a new strategy. So, don't be afraid of failure and don't let failure be an excuse you give yourself and say, this is not for me. No, you have to be in it despite the failure. That's my second tip. And my third tip is be optimistic, but if things require you to be a little flexible, you have to do that. That's how you run business. I mean, I understand everything about positivity, optimism, and that's exactly what my first 2 points were about. But then, oftentimes, you have to take a few steps back and you have to see, hey, am I really considering everything? Am I penning down everything that needs to be penned down? Am I doing that? Because, for example, McDonald's in the United States, they have beef, they have pork, they have, I don't know, they have every animal in the world. McDonald's in the United States is like fucking National Geographic, man. It's like Animal Planet. But in India, what is it? Aloo Tikki? I mean, come on. So look at how McDonald's has diversified, and I'm pretty sure it does that to every country it goes to. And that's one of the reasons it's successful. So if you were the decision maker of McDonald's, and if you were the one who decided this is what I would do, that's something a lot of firms do. That's something even Starbucks has done. Starbucks has a different menu in India and a different one in the US, and it's no secret. But we forget that. We forget that when we are trying our own things, right? So you have to see, even though you're trying to do something, you may not immediately be able to do it. You have to start somewhere and then build your way up to it. So don't be desperate to try something and try it at once. No, you have to build your way up to it. And number fourth is have good liquidity. There's such a thing as financial ratios. There's such a thing as debt to equity ratio. There's such a thing as having enough cash inflow, not just credit inflow, you know? And you need to make sure that your pockets are wider than the things that you're trying to do, right? And number five, which is the most important one, it is let your product offering or service offering be your life. Don't treat it like a project. Treat it like a heart that's beating inside of you. If I stop it, your life stops. That should be something that gives your life meaning, gives it purpose. That should be the reason you wake up in the morning. That should be the reason you go to bed. That should be the thing you dream during your sleep, even during the day. That should run in your veins, you know. It's not something separate of you. What you're trying to do, your business, that's who you are. And so you have to be passionate about it. And if you have that kind of passion, that kind of enthusiasm, your product, your service, it won't even need advertising. Think about it. You will save on advertising and marketing. Have you ever noticed that the best products they don't? I'm not talking of Nikola Tesla. I'm not talking of Tesla cars. I'm not talking of iPhones. What I am trying to say is, even though you do need marketing and advertising, but when the product is excellent, it draws the market to itself. And in terms of advertising, less is more. There's one ad, and people look at it intently. And sometimes you have a million ads. Every time you go to YouTube, you have an advertisement that annoys you, right? You don't need to see that. And no matter what you do, YouTube is going to throw that advertising. And you're going to wait. Okay, when are my 5 seconds going to get over? Because the minute my fifth second is done, I'm going to press skip. Do you want to be that ad? Do you want to be that ad which people want to press skip button on? Or do you want to be the ad that people intently wait for? Okay, the ad, it comes once a day. It comes at around 8, 8:30. Oh, see, there the ad is. Oh. So which one do you want to be? Don't focus so much on marketing and advertising. Focus on your product. Focus on your service. Focus on making it unique, and you will attract the market. I'm not saying don't advertise. By all means, do it. But that's not where your focus should be. Because guess what? Even if you have a wonderful advertising team and you advertise it, but if your product is a piece of crap, your business is gone. So focus on the things that need to be focused on. All right. Wish you all the best. I'm going to release my second part on the more technical aspects of entrepreneurship, on receiving funding, on how you can remain stress-free in terms of your finances if your socio-economic environment is not supporting it. What are some of the other things that you can do, the benefits of alternate streams of income, and all of those other technical things. I'm going to make a video on that. That's going to be part 2. And I hope you have a nice time. Namaste. Ciao.